Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you're all doing really well as always. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to my guitar lessons and full song breakdowns. Today we're going to be doing one that's been requested by you guys quite a few times now, which is Say Goodnight from the Scream Aim Fire album by my Valentine. And it's the ballad on the album, so it follows kind of like the very stereotypical power ballad sort of formula. If you think of songs like Welcome Home Sanitarium, One by Metallica, all that sort of thing, it very much sort of follows that typical formula, which is, clean guitar intro with a couple of guitar solos, and then all hell sort of breaks loose at the back end of the song. As usual, we're going to follow the same sort of format that I do for these lesson videos, which is go through the song section by section. We're going to go through all the rhythm guitar parts first, and then at the end I'm going to take you through all the lead sections that happen throughout the song. I've already done a cover on this song already, so if you want to see the song played up to speed, just head onto my channel and it'll be the last video that I did. So before we go into it, I'll just run you through the gear that I'm using. So I'm using my Jackson Matt Tuck Signature Rhodes, of course. It can only be one guitar for this album, I guess, and that's running straight into my Camper, which is running into my Scarlett Focusrite, and that's going into my DAW, my DAW Digital Audio Workstation, which is Cubase. So the first thing that we'll talk about before we get into the song is the tuning. Okay, it's tuning that's used quite a bit on the Scream Aim Fire album. It's D standard, so you tune to a whole step down. So low to high, that would be D, G, C, F, A, D. All right, so you got a D, G, C, F, A, D. So get yourself some tune and let's get into it. So going straight into intro part one, the first thing that you're going to want to do is get yourself a decent clean tone on your amp. I've kept mine quite stark for this, just so it's not layered in effects, just so that you can hear what's going on. But for the cover, I use the neck pickup on my guitars because it's got that really sort of warm kind of James Hetfield-y kind of clean tone going on with it. And then you're going to want to stick chorus on that as well, and that'll give you that really sort of wide sort of very sort of power ballad typical sort of guitar tone. But like I said, for the sake of today, just so that you can hear everything that's going on, I've kept my clean tone quite stark. It's literally just my guitar running into an amp with no effects on it, so nothing gets blurred or too confusing. And you're going to want to keep your clean tone on right the way through the majority of this song. Everything sort of kicks off at the back end of it, so make sure you're on a clean tone that you're happy with, and yeah, let's go from there. So we've got intro part one, which is a clean guitar, obviously, like I just said, and it goes something like this. Okay, so it's quite straightforward. The chord's a little bit of a stretch, but you're going to play that section 4 times in total. So I'll show you the frets just so you know what's going on. A lot of you guys know how to play this one already. There was a couple of things in there that I've been playing wrong myself, so it's kind of cool to go back into it. But what you're going to do is you're going to start with your pinky on 7th fret 5th string and bring your first finger over, it's a hell of a stretch, onto 4th fret 4th string, okay? And you'll end up with this chord, which is really, really, really cool, right? Really, really bleak and sad. Okay, and then the best thing for you to do is just follow my picking on this, okay? So watch my right hand. So that's your first part, okay? Then the chord's going to move a little bit, but that's the first thing you want to get. Then what happens once you've got that, you're going to bring your middle finger to 5th fret, 5th string, and you're going to go. So 5, 4, 3, 4 on the strings. And again, it's very 80s, power ballad, White Snake, all that sort of stuff, Def Leppard. It very much reminds me of that sort of thing. So these chords have been used like many times before by other bands. Okay, and you're going to play that 4 times in a row. So you've got... four times. Okay, so I run it through you now. It's very, very self-explanatory. Just follow my picking and yeah, you should get it. It's very easy. And that's your intro part 1. Okay, so you're going to play that 4 times in a row, and then the riff's going to change. That moves us over into intro part 2. And this is sort of guitar solo number 1, the rhythm section for that. If you get this part down, you're pretty much set for all verses and all choruses as well. So I'll go through the chords with you, and then we'll just pick it real slow so you can get the picking on it. So the first part of this section, your verses are pretty much sort of based off of this E minor shape, okay? If you don't know what an E minor is, middle finger, 5th string, 2nd fret, 3rd finger directly underneath that on the 4th string, 2nd fret. You get that, okay? The second chord in the sequence is this guy right here. You've got your 1st finger, 5th string, 3rd fret, and then you're going to do your middle finger, 4th fret, 4th string. And then the last chord in the sequence, keep your middle finger where it is, and bring your 3rd finger over onto 5th fret, 5th string. Okay, so those are your 3 chords. Okay, you might see me using different sort of fingers, maybe in the lesson or in my cover, but you can do it precisely the way I sort of said, with your 1st and middle finger and your 3rd finger, or even your pinky coming over for that last chord. It's entirely up to you, okay, but those are the frets. And the picking goes something like this. Okay, so that's sort of your first part of intro part 2, which is the guitar solo rhythm. And again, it's just going to be easier if I keep it slow and you guys just follow my picking on this rather than me screaming every single string that's being picked. It'd just take forever, right? So just watch where my hand's going and follow. Okay, so you're starting with that E minor shape, then bringing it forward. It's this sort of C kind of thing going on here. And the last chord, pinky comes over. Or if you're using your middle finger, 3rd finger, it's entirely up to you how you want to do it, okay? But those are the 3 shapes. And you're going to play that 4 times in a row, okay? Just like so. Okay, so that's your first part. The next part, the chord changes. And you're going to do this sort of C add 9 sort of shape. Very pretty. Very, very nice chord. So if you don't know what that is, you're going to bring your middle finger onto the 3rd fret, 5th string. Put your 1st finger behind it. On 2nd fret, 4th string, leave a gap. And bring your 3rd finger onto 3rd fret, 2nd string, okay? And you get that, okay? So that's your first shape, okay? The next shape that you're going to do is sort of the last one of the first part, which is this 5 and 4. So 5th string for 5, 4th string for 4. And it's up to you again how you're doing that. The C, you've kind of got those 2 fingers in that sort of shape anyway. So if you bring it forward toward yourself, it kind of makes it nice and easy. So you're going to bring that shape forward by 2 frets. And then the last chord, I guess, in the sequence is back to E minor. So that's what this part sort of majors on. You've got a C add 9, this sort of D, 5 and 4, and then back to E minor. Okay? So I'll play it through for you, and then we'll take a little look at what's going on. Something like that, okay? So you're starting off with the C-add-9 shape that I just taught you, which is the... That's your first part. And then you bring that shape towards yourself. And I'm going 5, 4, 2, 3 on that shape when I'm coming up to this sort of D shape right here with my first two fingers on 5 and 4. So I've got... Bring it up. Wow, hit that a little bit too hard, but there you go, okay? And then after that, you're gonna go back to E minor. And then you're gonna go back to your 5 and 4 chord, which is this little D shape. But for this one, you're just gonna go 5, 4, 3, 4 with your strings. Okay, very, very Def Leppard right there. The one thing I will say about this is when I was working this out, I've done my usual thing of slowing the track down and panning it round in Cubase to hear what's going on, but because there's so many guitars layered in there, it's quite tricky to figure out precisely what's going on. And I'm pretty sure that every now and then he doesn't play it the same way twice. There might be like one open string that's different or something like that, but this is what I've gathered from it. This is how I play it. This is how I've done my cover. Okay, so if you like that, this is it, I guess. But like I said, there could be one or two strings that are out of place, but this is the general gist of it, okay? Because those guitars are so thick with chorus, sometimes it's very difficult, especially when they're double tracked as well, to work out what's going on. And then, for instance, if there is a guitar on the left that's hit one note here, and then a guitar on the right that's hit one that's different, yes, that will cover it up in the recording, but it makes it really tricky to work out. So, you know, if I've got one or two notes out of place here, I do apologize, but this is the general gist of how I hear it and how I play it. So it's going to be sort of two runs of the C-add-9 thing, and then it breaks off at the end and strums on an E minor chord right there. So I'll play it through for you really nice and slow, and hopefully you can follow. So just remember your chords that I've ran you through, follow my picking, and put it together from there, okay? So you've got... So that's the last sort of part of your intro part 2 for the guitar solo number 1 rhythm. I'll play the whole thing through for you now just so you can see how everything fits together. Okay, so that is your intro part 2. Like I said, follow the picking, follow the chords. It's not difficult. Like I said, there might be one or two notes out of place, but hey-ho. You'll find your own way with it. This is just the general outline of it and how I play it, like I said. And you're going to want to make sure that you're happy with all that, because that is the general outline for the verses and choruses that are to come now. So we're going to move over into verse number 1 now, which is pretty much the same sort of thing. There's a couple of changes in there. I'll run it through for you, and then we'll talk about it. So this time what it's doing is it's leading in with a very nothing else matters kind of 3-2 open thing on the 6th string, okay? So you're going to go, and then you're going to have 4 runs of the E minor, okay? So it's 3, 2, open, and then into your E minor 4 times. Stop it right there, and strum your C add 9 with the pinky on this time. Okay, you don't want the 6th string in there on that one. The root note is on the 5th string 3rd fret with your middle finger, so strum from there down and get that whole chord in there, okay? And then it repeats itself, so you've got another 3-2 open, back into the E minor. It stops right there, and then it goes through into your chorus. So yeah, very, very simple stuff. Just making sure to start with the 3-2 open each time, and 4 runs of E minor, split it down the middle, strum on C, and then we repeat. Start with the 3-2 open, 4 more runs of E minor, and take it all the way to... and stop it right there. So I'll play it all the way through for you one more time just so you can follow my picking, and then we'll move over into chorus number 1. Okay, something like that. So that is your verse number 1. Make sure you're happy with that, because that is your verse number 2 as well. So we're going to move on into chorus number 1 now, which is going back to the C add 9 idea. This time no pinky, that's just for the strums, okay? So it's just going to be your middle finger, 1st finger, and 3rd finger for this one. And it goes something like this. It's very, very, very similar to what was going on in the guitar solo 1 rhythm section. So I'll play it for you, and then we'll chat about it. Okay, so it's basically 2 runs of the C idea, and then you're just ending with a strum on E minor. So I'm pretty sure that is basically exactly the same thing as what was going on in the intro. So, you know, no need to really go into depth on it. I'll play it one more time for you just so you get the gist of it. But yeah, we've already done the gist of this in intro part 2. Okay, so we're going off of the C. That's it. You just hang out on your E minor. Okay, so that's your chorus. No need to go into that anymore because it is that simple. Just watch the picking on it. Keep it light as well with your picking. I found, like, you know, with this sort of thing, you need to have like a real nice, light, articulate touch. I also find as well having as less of the pick shown as possible, within reason, of course, just for accuracy. You know, if you've got the pick all the way out here, you're going to be hitting strings that you don't want to hit, yeah? So keep the pick nice and tight in, keep it at a 90-degree angle from your thumb, so when you bring it to the strings, the point's going inward. Very basic stuff here, but, you know, it's not until you start recording this sort of thing you realize how sort of accurate you've got to be. It's fine if you're just messing around with it. It's fine to hit, you know, a couple of notes that are out. But if you want to do like a lesson video like this, where you've got to be accurate to give the right idea, or you start recording it, you'll find how tricky it can actually be to hit all those notes nice and accurately. So nice light touch, keep the pick nice and tight in, and that'll set yourselves up for the best chance of success. So going into guitar solo number 2 now, which is Padge's guitar solo, the rhythm section that happens underneath that. It's all going back to the E minor idea. You're going to do your 3 to open start, 4 runs of the E minor sort of riff, and then you're going to strum on your big C, add 9 at the end of it with the pinky on, okay? So I'll play it through for you. It's very, very similar to basically the first part of the verse, if you like, if not the same. So it goes something like this. And then you hang on that C chord, and then it goes back into the next verse. So like I said, that is basically the first part of the verse. Okay, so very, very simple stuff right there. So that is your guitar solo 2 rhythm section just after the first chorus. That takes us into verse section number 3, exactly the same as verse number 1, so we don't need to cover that. And then that takes us into chorus number 2, okay? And that is pretty much exactly the same thing. You're just going to clip it a little bit earlier when the heavy guitars come in, okay? So I'll run it through for you and you can see exactly where it cuts. And I cut it right there. And that's it. And then your heavy guitars are going to come in over the top. Maybe there's 1 or 2 sort of notes that happen after that, but that's a great place to cut it, especially if you're jamming along to the song as well, and you're going to switch between your sounds and go into your heavy tone, which is what we're going to do next. So that is your chorus number 3. I'll play it one more time for you just so you can see where it cuts, but it's exactly the same, okay? So you've got... and then cut it right there, and then we're into sort of the back end of the song now, where everything completely changes. Just to keep the sections very sort of split up here, I have added the first set of heavy guitars into this section, which is chorus number 2, so I'll show you what's going on right now. So you're going to want to swap out now for a heavy tone. Okay, so right at the end of chorus number 2, use your ear, you'll hear it. If you listen to the track, this happens. Okay, and that takes us through into chorus number 3, what I'm calling chorus number 3 when the song just sort of changes. But I'll show you what this is first. So you're going to start in with a slide, and he kind of does a quick, very sort of like gallop. So down, up, slide. Okay, it's all palm muted, and that speaks for itself. So open, open, slide down. And then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 on your E5 power chord, okay? So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And that's all palm muted and down picked. Then what you've got is a series of power chords. You've got C5, which is your 3 and 5 on the 5th and 4th string. Then you've got G5, which is 1 string up from there, which is your 3 and 5, again, but just on the 6th and 5th string. And then you've got D5, which is bringing the shape forward, okay, but you're going to come down a string each, and you'll have 5 and 7 on the 5th string and 4th string. Okay, very basic stuff with power chords, so you've got... And I do 2 strums in each. Okay, so that section all together. that's it. Okay, so that is your chorus number 2. So starting off with the clean guitars, sort of cuts at that point, and then the heavy guitars come in, and this is where the song is going to take a completely different direction now. So we're done with clean tones. Keep yourself on a heavy tone for the remainder of this lesson. So that now takes us into what I'm going to call chorus number 3. Okay, completely different kind of chorus to the previous ones, but it sort of is like a main hook in the song like the other ones. So we'll call it chorus number 3. I'll play it for you first, and then I'll break it down. Okay, so it's this very sort of hammer-on-y pulley riff that's going to happen 4 times in a row. Okay, so it's nice. You're just going to repeat it, and it's going to start. So it's going to start with the 2 opens on the 6th string, and you're going to pick 5 on the 5th string and hammer to 7 twice. It's very screaming fire. The riffs are very similar on this album, especially the chord structures as well that surround the single note riffs. So no surprises here if you've learned anything else off of Screaming Fire. So to begin with, you've got, okay, so 2 of the hammer-ons on 5 to 7, then 2 palm mutes on your pedal point on this open 6th string, and then you're going to do a 5, hammer to 7, pull to 5, pull to open. Okay, so you've got, and then what you do is you land on a big C5 power chord right there. Okay, your 3 and 5 on the 5th and 4th string. So you've got just like that. Okay, nice and easy. Then you've got GG, which is 3 and 5 on the 6th and 5th string, and then back to your D5. Okay, just for one. There's 2 Gs, 1 D. So you got, there you go, something like that. So you've got, okay. Then what happens is it repeats the same idea up to the C5. So you've got your hammer-ons and pull-offs. Then you've got this crazy thing, which is really cool. It kind of throws the song out a little bit, in my opinion. It's, I mean, I really like it. It's heavy and stuff, but it's such a juxtaposition to everything we've heard at this point. You know, we've heard all these really pretty chords and sad guitar solos and stuff like that, really emotive stuff. But then this thing. I don't know, it's quite evil. It's cool. So what's going on? So it's going to be, you're going to pick 5, hammer to 8 on the 5th string with your pinky, and then pull back to 5, pull to open. Sort of reminds me of like Avenged Sevenfold stuff. Then what you're going to do is you're going to do a pull off on 5th fret 6th string with your 1st finger. So you've got, then what you're going to do is the same idea that you just did on the 5th string, but you're going to do it on the 6th string now. So it's going to be 5, hammer to 8, pull back to 5, pull open. So that's going to be, okay, so you've got, so the next part, that same pattern that you've just done, the 5, hammer to 8, pulling back and pulling to open, you're going to do exactly the same thing down at 3 and 6 now instead. So it's going to be 3, hammer to 6, pull to 3, pull to open. Okay, so all together. It sounds like there's a lot more going on than there actually is. It's quite simple, but super effective. Okay? So putting that together, you'd have... Okay? So if you connect those two riffs together now, you're going to do that 4 times in a row. So... So you're going to play that section 4 times in a row in its entirety, okay? Make sure you're happy with this because it does pop up later on as well. So yeah, 4 times through. I'll do that for you now so you can play along, but here it is. Okay, so that is your chorus number 3, or what I'm calling chorus number 3 anyways. I am down picking the whole thing, by the way. I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to, but I found in order to get that sort of tightness that these sections have, it's all sort of really got a tight down picking sort of thing going on with it. So, you know, the whole thing with down picking, you know, a lot of people just, oh, well, you don't down pick it, so you're not playing it the real way. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. As long as you're happy with it, that's all that matters. You know, I'm a stronger down picker than I am alternate picker, okay? It's just always been that way for me. I've always had to put way more work in with my alternates than my downs, right? But I know for some people that's not the case. So it might just be that you need to stick the odd alternate pick in there to get this riff tight. But me personally, I'm down picking it. And I know that's what's happening on the record as well. So I want to try and achieve that same sort of tightness. So if you want to do the same to get that tightness, that's absolutely fine. If you want to throw an alternate pick in, do exactly. Don't feel under any pressure that you're playing it wrong. As long as it's in time, the notes are correct, and that you're happy with it and the overall feel of it with whatever way you're doing it, that's all that matters. But I know personally, it's all down picks. So you know, that's what I'm most comfortable with as well, funnily enough. So that's what I'm leaning toward on this one for myself. So the next section we've got is the bridge section, okay, which is where those sort of ascending noodly lead guitars come in. The rhythm section for that looks something like this. Okay, very, very straightforward stuff. So what you're going to do is you're going to hang 4 times on this E chord, E5 power chord. First finger, 2nd fret, 5th string, open 6th string together. And then in the middle of that, you've got your from the verse. Okay, so it's the. So you're going to bring your first finger over to 3rd fret, 5th string, your middle finger onto 4th fret, 4th string, and you've got your 5, 4, 3, and then you're going to put your 3rd finger on 5th fret, and it's exactly the same thing as you were doing in the verse. You're going to go 5, 4, 3, and then back to 4, back to 5, so. And I'm palm muting everything apart from that 3rd string, okay, making that one pop a little bit, so I've got. And I'm letting the last sort of 3 notes actually sort of ring out. So I'm going like that. So I want that 4 times in a row, okay? The only thing to watch out for is on the last one, between your E and your little single notes right there, what you're going to do is you're going to hit the top two open notes on your guitar, which is the 2nd and 3rd string open. Okay, so it's going to be. Okay, so you want 4 runs of that, just on the last time sticking those open notes in there. So that goes. And then as I demonstrated there, what you're going to do at the end of that is just hang on your open E chord. That's where the bass does some like sort of doodly stuff in the middle. And then coming back in, leading us up to chorus number 4, you've got some palm mutes a little bit like earlier on the open E string. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, okay? And then a slide down. Okay? All down pick to get that real sort of aggressive sort of attack there. So, okay, so I'll play it through once more for you. Nothing too difficult going on here. Very simple stuff. Okay, very, very simple stuff right there. That takes us over into chorus number 4, okay? And this is where things split off with the left and right guitars. Everything so far has been your rhythm guitars doing exactly the same thing. This is the only point where the left and right guitars do the very typical metalcore Built My Valentine thing where they play at counterpoints to one another. So I'll show you what the left guitar's doing first, and then I'll show you what the right guitar's doing, okay? So the idea is it's based off of the hammer-on and pull-off riffs from the chorus earlier. And you're going to play it through once just like that. But then what's going to happen is the left and the right guitar split off and do this counterpoint thing, right? Or harmony guitar part if you like. And the left guitar is doing this one. Okay? So rather than doing a C5 power chord, he's just going to do the root note of C right there, which is 3rd fret, 5th string. So he's going... And then he's got this slide down sort of run, okay? Which is going to be 5, 4, 2 on the 4th string. Okay? So, single note, and then we repeat. Single note, and then your tail as usual. Just like that, okay? So, again, if we put it together, it's just going to be a lot easier for you to follow. So that little section on its own. Okay, so if we put that all together, this is your guitar that's on the left. Okay, so that's your left guitar. Guitar on the right does exactly the same thing at first, so it plays the riff just as you've been doing it, just the standard way. Then what happens is that guitar splits off and does the harmony part, okay? So you're going to have... and then your tail. And that, rather than your 5s and 7s for the hammer-ons, you're going to have 9 and 10 instead, okay? So you're going to have... Okay, and pull into that open note. Pull into the open 5th string, okay? And then you're going to land on 7th fret, 5th string, okay? So you've got... And then same idea with the slide down, but you're going to be doing from 9 to 7 to 5. So you've got instead, okay? So that's and then back in. And then your tail. Okay, so I'll play the right guitar now in its entirety for chorus number 4. It goes something like this. Splits off halfway through, just like the guitar on the left. Okay? And that's it, okay? So, nice and easy there. Very traditional sort of bullet for my Valentine, splitting off, doing harmony guitar parts, getting that Iron Maiden, Thin Lizzy, or coming forward into metalcore idea going on. So, after that, we've got the outro, which is quite a horrendous downpick thing. It's guitars left and right doing exactly the same thing. I had to work really hard to get this to work for me with a downpick, but you can hear it's all downpicked. If you want to go for the alternate pick, like I said earlier, feel free, but I'm going to show you the way I'm doing it because I want to get that same tightness that they're achieving. I found when I've sort of Ben Bruced it, yeah, with like the alternate pick or the Lee Malleus sort of attack, it's just made it sound really sort of sloppy. So yeah, I'm going to show you the way I've done it with down picking, and that'll be all your rhythm guitars for this song, okay? So starts like this. Okay, something like that. So I'll play it slow for you. It's just the same riff going around 4 times in a row. Okay, with the hammer-on pull-off kind of riff that we did earlier. So you've got then you and you want 4 of those in a row, okay? And the last time, cut it right there on that 5 pull open. And then what you're going to do is go, which is very, very Scream Aim Fire, take it out of me. Does it loads on this album, okay? So you're going to go G, D, and then you end with a down, 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 okay? All down pick par mutes on E. Okay? And that's it, okay? Very, very simple. So I'll play it one more time for you in its entirety. It's just regurgitating stuff that we've used throughout the song with the power chords and the hammer-on E pulley sort of riff going on in the middle. It's just those down picks that you've got to watch out for. So I'll play the outro in its entirety. And that is all your rhythm guitar parts for Say Goodnight. For the most part of it, it's literally repeating sections, or when riffs do change, they're still using little parts of previous riffs and just mixing them up a little bit. So I don't think it's anything too complex in this song. I don't think it's much of a struggle to get under the fingers. There's some pretty tight down pick stuff in there, and you know, like I said, trying to play it the same way every time with the open strings and stuff like that on the chordy parts and the verses and the choruses. That can be a little bit of a challenge, but like I said earlier, just follow my pick and keep it slow and you'll get it eventually. Okay, so for the next section of this video, we're going to be going over all the lead parts, okay? There's quite a lot of them. We've got guitar solo number 1, which is Matt's guitar solo in the intro. Then we've got guitar solo number 2, which is Padge's. Then we've got some taps that are happening over in verse number 2. And then lastly, you've got the harmonized sort of ascending lead runs in the bridge section, okay? So we'll start with guitar solo number 1. And then and work our way through everything. So I'll play it through for you first, and then we'll take it section by section. Okay, so let's break it down. I've sort of split it up into 2 sections. You've got sort of the melodic, slidey sort of single note stuff going on. And then you've got these little descending arpeggios in section 2. So here's the first section for you. So you're going to start. Okay, with something like that. So you've got slide from 7, and then you go. Okay, which is 7, 9, and 10. Then you're going to walk it down to 5, to 4. And then you're going to pick with your pinky or your 3rd finger, 7th fret, 3rd string, and then back to 5 on the 4th string, okay? So that's your first section, okay? So you've got... Okay, then what you've got is this. Nice and easy stuff there. You've got 4 to 5, and then up to 7 from there. And I'm hammering from 4 to 5, and then picking 7. And then walking it back down, which is 5, then 4. So, and then 5, 4, then pick 5. Pick 5 again, slide to 7. So it's... Okay? So all together, you've got... Okay, after that, nice and easy stuff. So 5 to 7 on the 5th string, slide up to 9, and then 7, 9 on the 5th string. So then same idea, but 9 into 10, back to 9, and then pick 10. So... Okay. Then what we've got is this. Okay, so I'm kind of incorporating a lot of slides there, starting with 9 on the 4th string, and then pick to 10, down to 7, and then same idea, but we're going to be doing 7 to 9, back to 5, slide to 9, pick 5, so it's... Then, same idea, but it's going to be 5, 7, 4. So you've got... And give 4 a little bit of a half step bend. Just to make it, you know, sing a little bit. So. Okay, so that section in its entirety. Okay, so that's your first section, that very slidey sort of melodic single note thing. The second section is these descending sort of runs, okay? Goes something like this. That's the first part of it, okay? There's a real art, you know, whether I'm accomplishing it here or not, I don't know, but when you're playing with the track, there's a real art to not, you know, get those bends to sound like dying cats. You know, you've really got to hit your target notes if you're going to bend, you know. So yeah, really think about where you're bending to, you know, because if you fall shy of it, oh man, it's horrendous, yeah. And because they're quite standout, at that point, you know, like the guitars are very stripped back, clean guitars and stuff. And at that point, when it does some of those bends, the guitars stop completely. You know, you're really under the microscope at that point. So really think about, you know, getting your bends to pitch, basically. Okay. So we'll break the section down. One thing that I have done here is I've switched on to my neck pickup to give it a little bit of warmth. Okay. That's one thing that you guys might want to do just to give it that very sort of warm, guitar tone. And it goes something like this. Okay, the tabs have it wrong. They've got this, which I'm failing to do. Which you could do if you wanted to, but Matt, he slides down, and you can see it in the live performances that he's doing it this way. So you're going to start on the first string, 15th fret. Okay, you're going to pull to 14. Then you're going to do your middle finger 2nd string. Then your first finger 14th fret, 3rd string. So you've got, and then you're going to slide that note on the 3rd string down to 12. Okay. Then what you're going to do is exactly the same thing, but you're going to slide down to 9 this time, okay? So you're going to go. Okay, so you've got. Then you're going to start it again. But cut it right there on the 15th, 2nd string, okay? And you're going to go back to 14, and then your big band's going to come in. Okay, which is 17th fret, and there's a whole step bend. Okay, so you've got. See, even I was over then. See how bad it can sound if you don't get it right? That's better. And then you're going to go. So that's 15, 14, 15, and then a hammer on and pull off from 14 to 17. And then land with your middle finger, 15th fret, 2nd string, okay? Okay, so you've got. Okay, something like that. So you've got. And that bend, by the way, I'm sort of letting it down very slowly. So I'm going. Like that, okay? So that all together. Then what happens is we'll repeat the first part. So pretty much everything's the same up to that point, okay? But then the ending's gonna go like this. Okay, so that's 15, 14, 15, 17, back to 15, and then a little hammer on from 14 to 15, pull back to 14, and finish on 17th fret, second string, okay? So that's... Okay, so that sort of second section altogether. So now what I'll do is I'll put the whole solo together for you, nice and slow, and then we'll move on into the next one. Okay, so that is Matt's guitar solo, solo number 1. Nothing too difficult there, I don't think. Just watch for the little nuances in the middle, little slides. Okay, so that is your guitar solo number 1. Moving on into guitar solo number 2 now, which is Padge's guitar solo. This happens after the first chorus, okay, just before the second verse. I'll play it through for you, and then we'll break it down. So you've got... Okay, so I'm going to break it down into 2 sections again for you. The first part of it is going to be these harmonics, okay? So you're going to have 5th fret, 5th fret harmonics to begin with. And the way you get those harmonics is you go and right over the fret wire itself. This song's loaded with this sort of thing. And it's a real light touch. You're not pushing down on the fret itself. You're right over the fret wire, but it's a real light touch. And to be quite honest with you, the lighter you are with it, the more of a result you're going to get, okay? So you're going to go 5, 5, 5, which is 3, 2, 1, okay? And the last note is second string, 7th fret. So you've got... Okay, get your fingers away as soon as you've done them. That's what's going to ring them out. If I keep it there, it's going to kill it off, so... It might take some time if you're not used to that sort of thing, just to work on the touch, the light touch, but as soon as I've done it, I'm away, so... Yeah, because if you keep your finger there, it's going to kill it. So that's the first part. 5, 5, 5, 7. Then you've got all this pentatonic-y stuff. Very, very typical Padge. So it starts off with a second string, 15th fret. And it's kind of a bend, let down, and then back up again. Whole step bend. Okay? And then you got... Okay, so you're going to go 12 on the first string, 14, and then you're going to do a half step bend on 14, just into the fret next door. Let that half step bend down and pull back to 12. So you've got. Then you're going to go 15 second string. First finger back to 12, first string. Then back to 15. And you're going to bend 15, whole step bend in second string, okay? So you've got. Okay, so to start with. Okay, next part. So if any of you have ever learned Nothing Else Matters, the solo in that, it's the same thing, okay? It's a unison harmony bend. You're going to put your pinky, 15th fret, second string, and you're going to bend on 14th fret, third string, okay? With your third finger. But get your fingers behind that. Get your first and second finger behind that third finger, okay? Pinky's going to stay where it is, but you're going to push the third string back, and you're going to really get that sort of country thing going on with it. Okay? And you're going with a whole step bend on 14, okay? So you want... There it is. Like that, okay? You want those two together. And then pick 12th fret, third string to finish that off. So you've got... Okay? So far... Okay? One more time. Okay? Next, we've got this very Kirk Hammett, Dave Mustaine, Zakk Wylde kind of pentatonic lick with a blues note added into there. It goes something like this. Okay? So, you're going to slide in with your third finger to 15th. Second string, okay? And then you're going to do your first finger, 12th fret, first string, okay? And keep your first finger there on 12th fret now, because you're going to be going back to it quite a bit. And then once you've done that, pick 17th fret and pull to 12. And do the same thing with your third finger for 15 to 12. So you've got... Then what you're going to do with your third finger is pick 16, yes. 16, that's the blue note right there. That's the one that's a little bit out, but if you slow it down, you'll hear it, okay? You're going to pick that on second string, and then first finger goes back to 12th fret, first string. So you've got... Okay? And then repeat. And that's where you're going to finish. You're going to finish on the 17. You're going to sort of repeat it twice and finish on the 17, pull 12. Okay, so slow. You stop it right there, okay? And once you get it together, it'll sound something like that. And that's where you're cutting it. So I've classed that as the first sort of section of solo number 2, okay? So I'll play what we've got so far. Okay, so that's everything so far. So the next part, section 2, looks something like this. Okay, so it's going to start with like a G major scale run. So what you're going to do there is you're going to do 10, 12, 14 on the 5th string, all hammer-ons. Same thing again on the next string. 10, 12, 14. Then what's going to happen, the shape's going to come in. You're going to do 11, 12, 14. First, middle, pinky. And I find when I angle my wrist inwards this way, it gives me the reach rather than trying to do it that way. Yeah, when I pull my wrist in, look how much reach I've got, okay? So far. Then bring the shape in. Okay, you're going to have 12, 13, 15. And then lastly, just following the pattern, you're going to have 12, 14, 15. Okay, so you're going to have... And then that last one, when you hammer to 15, pull back to 14. Okay? That is very standard on this album. Very, you know, Padge does that a hell of a lot on this album, let's put it that way. And he's done it a lot throughout his career, actually. It's just literally just following scales. Then what you've got is this. So pick 15, pull 14, pick 15. Same idea, but with 17 and 15, 17 to 15. Okay? So everything so far? Then, which is really just following the minor scale up the neck, okay? You're going to have 14, 15, 17 on the first string. And needless to say, this is our alternate pick, yeah? Then bring the shape forward, but this time you're going to have, with your first finger, 15, 17, 19. Then what you're going to do is you're going to come forward from that. And you're going to go 17, 19, 20. Then you're going to come forward from that. And you're going to go 19, 20, 22. So it's... Don't worry, all you, you know, 22 fret guitar users like I am, it doesn't exceed that point, okay? So... Look... the reach I get when I turn my wrist inward like that. Thumb on the back of the neck, okay? You know, don't let your thumb creep over for this. Thumb on the back. And turn your wrist inward. Okay, once you've done that, whole step bend. Till only dogs can hear it, I guess. It's that high. And that's on a 22nd fret, okay? And then you've got this. Which is this sort of E minor kind of triad. So it's... which is 20, 19, then 20 on the second string. So first string, second string. Back to 19 on the first string. Back to middle finger on 20. And then walk it down on second string, 19, 17. Okay, so you've got... So, okay, so that's section 2 in its entirety. Okay, and that is your solo number 2. Padge's guitar solo, so I'll play the whole thing for you now, nice and slow. You can put it together from there. Okay, and that is guitar solo number 2. Next thing that we're going to look at is verse number 2. There's this sort of tapping section, okay? And what I would advise for this one is bring yourself onto your neck pickup, okay? And I'll play it through for you. I've seen this done quite a few ways on tabs, which I think is wrong. I believe this to be all taps because it's just so smooth, okay? I'll play it through for you, I'll break it down. Okay, so yeah, I've seen tabs with this picked, but listen to how smooth it is, man. I don't care how warm your neck pickup is, you're never gonna get it to sound that smooth, and that's because it's all legato, right? Hammer-ons and pull-offs and taps. So you're gonna start with your first finger on 7th fret, 2nd string, and this is for the most part on 2nd string, okay? So you're gonna do. He sort of slides into the 7 each time. But obviously you're going to have to hammer that as well to get it. Okay, then hammer with your middle finger 8. And then with your middle finger, tap 15 on the same string, okay? Keep your thumb on the top of the neck. Okay, that's your anchor point, and you're going to go. Okay, if I just have my hand floating, look how sort of disjointed my tapping is. I've got nothing to, keep my rhythm. But if I anchor my thumb on the top of the neck like that, nice and flat, it's nice and easy for my middle finger to just bounce on and off, okay? Or your first finger, whichever you like to do when it comes to tapping. So the first part. Then what you do is after you've tapped that, pull back from 15 back to the 7. So you've got. And then you're going to hammer 8 with your middle finger, and then you're going to do the same idea, but this time it's 17 with the tap, okay? So you've got. Okay? Then what you do is you repeat the first part. Okay? So you've got. Then what you've got after that is. Again, it's all hammer-ons and slides, so you've got to. You've just got to maintain your notes by being quite, sort of heavy-handed, I guess. A nice low action helps as well. So you're going to do your 7, hammer to 8, and then slide that 8 back to 5, okay? So, all right? So far. Okay, then, next part. So it's exactly the same thing, but you're going to slide from that 8 up into 10 instead. Okay, so the first part. Okay, next part from there follows suit with the first part, so it's exactly the same thing. Then what we do is this. Now to get the next note, you could go 24 if you had a 24th fret guitar, I believe, but I don't. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go onto the first string and tap A, which is 17th fret, and let that ring out instead, okay? And it's very, very easy and very doable. Like that, okay? So you'd have. Okay? So, quite simple. Just follow the pattern. Keep your thumb anchored on the top. And I'll play it through in its entirety for you. Something like that, okay? So that is your little tappy section that happens in verse number 2. Nothing too difficult there, very sort of easy taps. It's nothing crazy like Eruption or anything like that. So that's your verse number 2 lead section. The last little section that we're going to look at now is the bridge solo. I'm going to do both guitar harmony parts, okay? And then that's it, we're done, okay? You can get back to Christmas shopping or rapping or whatever it is you guys are doing this time of year. So here we go. We'll do the guitar on the left and then the guitar on the right. There's 2 lead sections. I'm going for my neck pickup again with this one just to get that warm sort of tone going on with it. So this is the guy that's over on the left. It goes something like this. So again, what's happening is he's just following that same scale that he did earlier in solo number 2, okay? But we're not going to do it from 5th string. We're going to do it from 4th string, okay? So you're going to have 10, 12, 14. He's going to be picking this time, no hammer-ons, okay? So it's all alternate pick. So you're going to have 10, 12, 14. Next string, 3rd string, come on in. Bring the shape in. You're going to have 11, 12, 14. Bring the shape in again. You're going to have 12, 13, 15. And then the next string, you're going to have 12, 14. So you've got that last note on 14. Give it a half step bend. Let it back down. And then pick 12 on the 2nd string, okay? So you've got... Okay? Next time, it's pretty much exactly the same thing, but you're going to stick this on the end of it. So it's your half step bend on 14. And then let it back down and pick it, okay? So that's... Then what we do is we repeat. And then the last bit. Okay, so you've got your half step bend, let it down, and then pick 12 on the 1st string, okay? So it's really, really simple. It shouldn't be too hard for you to follow. I'm going to play it again for its entirety rather than barking all those notes at you again. Follow where I go, watch for the half step bends, and it's pretty simple. That's your guitar that's over on the left. I believe that's the one that Padge plays in the live situation when they used to play this song. I doubt this one's ever going to see the light of day in the set list again. I would like to see them play this one, but anyways, that's the one that he plays live, so it's probably the one that most of you guys are going to go for when you're covering this or playing this or whatever. The next one is the higher up harmony, okay, which is really cool. It's really fun to do over the top of the other one. It goes something like this. So it's going to follow the same sort of picking pattern. It's just everything's shifted up. Now everything's higher. It's the higher harmony. This time your frets, it's going to start from the 4th string again. This time your frets are 14, 16, 17. Same thing on the 3rd string. Then you're going to do middle finger on the 2nd string, 15, pinky 17. Then you've got on the 1st string, 14, 15. Okay, so you've got... And then your bendy thing is going to be happening on 17th fret, 1st string, okay? So you've got... And you're going to land on 15th fret, 2nd string, okay, for the first part. Okay, then we repeat. And you're going to do exactly what you did in the lower one there, but you're just going to be doing it on 17th fret instead. Then we will repeat the first part. And then it's the same idea, you know, like with the last one, but we're going to be doing it up here instead. I'm finishing right there on 15th fret, first string, okay? So you've got... And that's your 4 little sections. By the way, those bends are whole step bends this time on 17th fret. Okay, sounds really jolly on its own, and you'll be thinking, really? You know? But you put the 2 guitars together and it works. So here we go. Here it is in its entirety. There you go, guys. That is your bridge section. So choose a guitar. Either one of those will work for that section. So that is my Say Goodnight by Bullet of My Valentine guitar lesson. I hope it's helped. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed it. And if there's anything that I've missed, just let me know down in the comments below. Drop me a message on Instagram or whatever. The link's down below for you. And I believe this is the last time I'm going to be doing sort of a chatty video or a lesson video and actually speaking with you guys before the Christmas break. So I just wanted to wish you guys a very sort of happy, merry, whatever it is, holiday break. Whatever it is that you're doing, I hope you have a wonderful time doing it. I would also like to thank you guys enormously for your support this last year. We've done some pretty cool stuff this year. We hit over 1,000 subscribers and it continues to grow from there. But thank you for your continued participation, your comments, your likes, your shares, your views, all that sort of stuff. It really motivates me to do this. These lessons, you know, a heck of a lot of work goes into these. They're right time consuming. So, you know, leaving comments and stuff like that, it really motivates me to do more. But thank you so much for your support. And yeah, 2023, I guess we'll just we'll carry on doing exactly what we've been doing. I'll be taking your requests and there'll be plenty more covers, chatty videos. So let me know what you guys want to see in the year of 2023, what you want to see from this channel, what you want me to do. If you've made it this far into the video, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday season and a very successful new year. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care, guys. Peace.